that would be.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very first open mic, our very first official Skyline Drama open mic. We're super excited to have you all here and to get started and to share what some people have been working on. So, the way that this will work is that we will have a short feature at the beginning. I believe this one is about 25 minutes. And then we'll go immediately into the open mic, and we've got performances from a lot of our officers today. And so we are super excited to have you all here and to be performing for you guys today. If you're watching from the YouTube stream, feel free to join the Zoom link. It's on the Skyline Drama Discord server. If you don't have it, feel free to just mention me, and you're more than welcome to join this. We're going to be using the chat to show support to everybody who's participating in the open mic today. So without further ado, I would like to pass the mic over to Leah James, our slam captain.
Okay, hello everybody. As Nate said, I'm Leah James. I'm the slam captain. We're so excited to be here doing a feature for you all. So just so you know what to expect, you're going to be hearing an individual piece from everybody on the team. Some of these pieces have already been competed with, but many of them are going to go up in our next competition, which is a week from today on the 26th. So still kind of like works in progress, but we wanted to share what we've been working on with you all. And then you will also be hearing two group pieces that we've been working on. The first of which is still like being edited, but it's a fun one and we wanted to share it with you guys. And the second of which went up in our last competition in January. So, without further ado, I'm reading the first poem, so I'm just gonna jump on in. The tomb of the first emperor of China is guarded by a legion. Grieving statues known as the terracotta warriors, each one carved with a different grave face. I've been told to stand a respectful statue a dozen times. I pull my hair back tight, don my black funeral dress once again, armor barely different from the exhaustion settled like blankets on my skin, carved into my brow with the stylus of the commissioned artisan of death. The terracotta warriors were built to guard the memories of a dead man. If that is so, then how many memories have I been built to guard? How many moments am I now the sole witness to? My arms were sculpted so thin, I don't think I can carry much more before my stillness is broken. I want to call the sculptor back and complain that there is a flaw in his design. How many caskets will I see lying open before my own? My tears, the soil piled on top of a legion of memories. My grandmother, my grandfather, a second grade teacher, and a college student. A list forever being carved into solid rock, classmates who disappeared from desks and crowded hallways. It takes training to turn trembling hands to stone. One of the 7 wonders of the world, but nobody wants to be told that they are a wonder, simply because they aren't willing to give up to rubble. When my history teacher taught us about the terracotta warriors, I was stone. Hardened with tired gray skin under my eyes, bleeding rock into my veins. He told me I was such a brave statue for the way I sat so still. Learning to grieve has been learning to turn my face rock hard, not telling how fearful I am of seeing another statue crumble, that I am brave for telling the simplest of lies. If that is bravery, then I would rather be weak than cold, wondering when it will be my ashes in the urn turning people into statues, but never falling to pieces. How many memories do I hold that have half passed beyond the grave while I've stood guard? Grandmothers I didn't share blood with, but who made me their own. An art teacher who poured cream into coffee like it was a masterpiece. The people whose lives taught me to have a beating heart have provided a far more striking lesson in death. A lesson of utter silence, hair tied tight back, black funeral dress donned once again. The terracotta warriors do not crumble. We have both been made wonders simply by existing. The treasure of the Qin dynasty, such a strong little girl, they've made a legion out of me. Standing at the door to the tomb of people I can never get back, coffins I will never see unburied, memories I will only relive as echoes emptier than centuries spent buried under piled up soil and rock. But as my aunts say, we will all give up to the grave. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So that's the poem. And I am now going to pass you to our next poet, who is the wonderful Owen Briggs.
Hi, I'm the wonderful Owen Briggs, in quotes. So I have a working draft of a poem. The ending is not really finished, and neither is a lot of other stuff, but it's going to be fun. There's one thing I want now in my life. It's overtaken my desires like mold slowly growing over a rotted fruit. I lie awake at night, tossing and turning over the perceived losses I've accrued over this deeply selfish goal, and the ghosts of this past and an unearned future haunt me to this day. I really wanted a date to the Sonic movie. I really, really wanted a date to the Sonic movie. That Valentine's Day release taunts me. The veil of irony slipping as I went, it'd be funny too. I deeply need to do this within a span of months. It has, to put it cordially, shredded my ideals of romance and has intrinsically linked the tatters to that stupid blue ball that goes, one. Not to say that my sense of love is equated with Sonic the Hedgehog. That'd be insane. But like with most things, it's the principle of the matter. My first love was Garfield, but then it was Lego, but then it was Sonic. And if you're a new actual person that I'm gonna love, you're gonna have to be cool with all of my weird hyperfixation exes. And by be cool, I mean, like, accept that I see them daily, and also please be friends with them. I know you'd get along, which is why I doubt the possibilities are never ending, and why the prospect of dating is as slim a chance as there ever being a game that completely pleases the void of a fan base it's attached to. But the Sonic movie, the magnum opus of crowd pleasing, a testament to how abject horror and Jim Carrey can be turned into unadulterated revitalization. And Jim Carrey, a unicorn of a hedgehog that makes me believe in romance for a second, only to spin dash it into my heart, cleaving it in twain. However, he isn't a love killer, far from it. Sonic the Hedgehog is a love decider, a litmus test for how serious your couple really is. You're getting with a person even though they don't like birds, Cool. There's no settling for a person who makes PowerPoints about the Adventure 3 game they want to see. No, sir. Can't exactly lower those expectations for a person who has improvised rants they've only seen memorized in their head for no good reason. You've got to have those expectations to begin with, baby. Because if you're willing to go with me to the Sonic movie, you're willing to do anything with me. The true declaration of love. Don't believe me? I had friends who didn't take their SOs to Sonic, and all of them are broken up now. I rest my case. But rest assured, there's still hope, for I've come to make an announcement. I'm going to try and get a date to Sonic 2, and so should you. Possibly with me. Thank you. And I believe next up is Chris Close.
Hello. Pull up the right document. Okay. I'm Lady Christiana, a woman in Victorian England, whose conscious thoughts are kept inside, who can't have intellect, size, or truth, and must wear a corset of silence to keep in my waist and my secrets, to hide the thoughts that show that I do in fact have a couple brain cells, that I am not a common coquette, and even though the corset cuts off my oxygen, breaks my ribs, and crushes my organs, I'm still able to think and speak as clear or more than the men I know. The men who say a full abdomen is not desirable, imperfections are quite horrific, and a woman's thoughts aren't worth a damn. If I convey that I am upset, it is unladylike. Queen Victoria is a brilliant woman. She sets the etiquette for us all. She is a tiny woman, so I must be. She got married young, so I should also. We both churn under the fear of what will become of us if we do not obey. At a ball, a lady can only have one helping of food, even if you are still hungry. No woman goes to get a second glass of port. Eat no more than 3 quail eggs. We must stay famished. We need to be conscious of everything we eat and weigh, and must feel the sharp stab of the corset digging in for every bite. We are fed ideas of starving ourselves in thin wastes, but not actual food. Hide the pimples, the blemishes, the pink skin tone, use lead and mercury makeup to make us look pale, eat arsenic wafers to clear our skin, and it may be the death of me, but beauty is pain. It is not for us, it is for others. Women have to be so small in some ways and so big in others. We are compelled to be well-mannered and quiet. If you keep to yourself, then you're seen as shy, polite, and small. Women who are articulate are not sensible. We can't be big that way. However, if my backside can fit through the doorway, it isn't large enough. These men curse us with rules that make us fit into their pedophilic fetishes, making us small with perfect skin like a porcelain doll. As you see the cracks of hidden tears, hunger, and frustration starting to grow, and the pressures of beauty seeping through. So we bleach our skin, burn off hair in an attempt to curl it, swallow tapeworms to make us small, use deadly nightshade eye drops to make our pupils dilate, lay raw beef on the face to help with complexion, body shame those who don't fit our standards. Men don't have to only have one bite at a party. Break their ribs, look perfect for us. Men are meant to eat. They can say their truth, exclaim that someone wronged them, but then call us sluts, floozies, harlots. So try it. I dare you, because we women will burn down your house, your mailboxes. We will take the axes from our basements and hack you into pieces, a strike for each instance we were insulted, ridiculed, or destroyed, because that is no way to treat a lady. But I guess that is just the way it is. That is the life of a woman in Victorian England. Thank you.
Next up, we have Chioma.
Can someone turn on my video? So the host can't do it before. Okay. Sorry for that. So I'm going to read a thing that I came up with. I haven't really finished it yet, but I feel like it's going to be fine. So let's just read it and see how it goes. Hello. Did you miss me? Self-esteem. You needed me, so I came back. I've been watching you from a distance. Last week, you took a leap of faith and thought about how to ask your parents if you can hang with Ty. Well, how did it go? What? He's kind of cute, though. I remember how that chemistry exam you had. You seemed so nervous about it since you didn't even study. It was funny because you still passed. Barely. B minus, why might well just be a pass, darling. You dream about what you want your life to look like. You stay up for hours just thinking and picturing the future. You think that maybe that will help you, make you become more you in a way. Why dream to begin with? Why even think that life can get better than this? You are acting a fool. Foolishness wrongs the fool man as it fools the rich man also. Selfishness can rob the common man just like it can rob the saint. You aren't better than anyone else. So why think you're worth of more? You're nothing but a mere fiend, thinking so well of yourself. Wickedness comes in waves, looking up every innocent thing with it. You said that you are sorry for being so self-absorbed. Your constant predictableness soothes me. It makes me me. I indulge in your inanimacy. If you're willing to grasp my hand tight, I will show you what until you can't anymore. I will show you what I can do. Don't think you can grow because you can't. Don't think about how irrational you're being as you remain in this being of despair. You are alive, but need to be dead at the same time. Stay the same. You could have become strong, but your claims of inadequacy have made you weak. You need to stay the same, lurking in never-ending fixation. And it's going to stay that way. It's going to stay that way until you admit that you cannot live with or without me. Until you fade slowly, you are good just the way you are. I love you. I embrace you. Nothing needs to change, you see? It's easier this way. Steady and all-knowing with no drive. No chasing after foolish dreams. No desires means no unnecessary chasing. You are selfish if you do. Others have it worse than you. Stop thirsting for things that you do not have. Your problems aren't real. Why do you keep resisting me? Why? I will leave you. So don't get on my nerves. Stay constant, or you won't have self-esteem anymore. You'd be truly empty. So listen to me, darling, and I will be here. Self-esteem will be here for you. To remember these things every time that you speak. I want something better.
Okay, and then our last solo piece is from Biela, who unfortunately could not join us in person tonight, but still shared her poetry in a pre-recorded form. So let's just get that queued up.
An ode to pottery, and my friend, the wolf. If I broke a pot right now, in my home, I'd imagine the situation following to be something like this. My mother would come investigate what the loud noise was. I'd probably start crying out of shame. She would comfort me, say everything is okay, and then get out the broom. We would sweep up the broken pieces and either glue it back or throw it out. That is the American way to fix a broken pot. If I broke a pot in Japan, however, I would mix lacquer with powdered gold, carefully sort the broken pieces, and put the pot back together. This is what kintsugi is. I think that we treat hearts like pottery. We carefully sculpt its features on the throwing wheel of life, carving in divots and channels that we label a personality, glazing it with all the compliments we were given as a child. Parents and role models then take the creation and fire it with the kiln of positive feedback and hand it back when it has become pristine and shiny. Entrusting something as fragile and delicate as a heart to a child is, well, dangerous. Inevitably, it will break. That is the nature of pottery. It is inherently fragile. Sometimes we break our own pots, knocking them over while daydreaming about a life better than the one we have, the loud crash sending us hurtling back into reality. A heartbreak is a messy thing, and it can leave us lost and confused. Most deal with a broken heart the Western way. A friend of ours, you remember, would throw the broken heart away completely. That does it, they said. I'm done trying to fix it. Nobody will ever see this thing again. So they hid the pieces away forever. Me? I carefully sweep up the pieces, making sure each and every shard is accounted for. I take glue and try desperately to hide the cracks, lining up the ceramics so well that it's impossible to tell that it was broken in the first place. My pottery broke, I'll say. Where on earth did you hear that? Look, here it is, safe and sound, not a crack to speak of. I smile, trying my damnedest to hide the pain behind my eyes. I just pull up my bootstraps and deal with it the Western way. But you have done neither of these things. You have carefully swept up the pieces of your broken heart, carefully sorted them and mixed lacquer with gold. You fit together the shards and repaired the pot, letting the cracks stand out and shimmer. Your heart is a piece of kintsugi. Unlike me, you haven't hidden your heartbreaks. You smile and show off the gold, aware of the scars, but so much stronger than the things that have made them. Yes, your pot has broken. It's been shattered even multiple times, but you've saved your golden glue. Each time you have picked up the pieces, no matter how badly they've been broken, and you fill the gaps with gold. Your heart is beautiful. You are kintsugi.
Okay, that was the last of our individual pieces. So now we have 2 group pieces. The first one is not finished. It's still in draft form, but Chris and I wanted to share it because we've had fun working on it. So yeah. And there she is, Chris herself. Okay. Gonna let Chris get the poem pulled up. There she is.
We're good.
Woo! Okay. For the next 3 minutes, we will be teaching you how to build a toxic man. Do not
try this at home. If at any point you feel called out, that's the point.
Welcome to Build-A-Boy, the only place where you get to build your very own toxic man.
Anyone can make a toxic man. They come in all shapes and sizes. There's the stonewaller,
The manipulator,
the mansplainer,
the sexist,
the predator, and more.
But remember, most men don't start out this way. You have to craft yours to value his facade of strength over basic decency, because children are born with soft exteriors who want snuggles and bedtime stories like Go Dog Go, and most importantly,
He'll look up to you.
So it's your job to toughen him up with tales of boys who are beaten to shreds on the playground for playing house, or anything that doesn't involve the violence that will get him qualified as just a boy being a boy.
You get to fill your Build-A-Boy's head with all the ideals of a toxic boy. You get to see the cotton spinning get fluffed up with the thoughts that periods are gross, that getting kicked in the balls hurts more than childbirth, and that doing anything like a girl is the worst thing a man can do.
Raise him in an environment where he is shamed for communicating emotions, because young boys should be stronger than their intrinsic inclination towards communicating their basic mental health needs.
And if you're worried that this will cause long-term damage to your Build-A-Boy, it will.
But just tell him to find himself a good woman and to take care of him, and we're sure it will all work out.
Once your boy's built, he must hide all photos of Harry Styles on the cover of Vogue to make sure his fragile masculinity stays intact. Remind him daily that makeup, dresses, and a weak right hook will make him a sissy. And if you're lucky, there will be room for a desire for girls who are at least 2 years younger than him.
Be sure that he knows that it is acceptable to use the word gay as an insult, because, as we all know, masculinity and queerness are mutually exclusive. Teach him to use "men get raped too" in a feeble attempt to swat away #MeToo tweets, calling out the same behaviors he ignores in himself as they settle like a shoe that fits all too well.
Teach him that men get raped shouldn't be its own sentence, or that the fact that most male survivors of a sexual assault had a male attacker isn't just an Atlantic article away. But regardless, if he uses the trauma of other men to invalidate the experiences of non-male people, you will have succeeded in creating a man who is not a champion of male survivors. He's an ass.
You will have built your Build-A-Boy and outfitted him with indignation and incapability to accept that he will be wrong sometimes.
Here's the best part. Accessories. A Ziploc bag filled with roofie powder in case those girls get a bit bitchy.
rulers marked with a spot at 8 inches to make sure that the girls get the right idea.
Phrases like, I would never rape a girl. Real men don't cry. And get back in the kitchen dishwasher, which I've heard is real popular with the ladies.
And as you kiss the heart that you and your society have turned into nothing but an unfeeling lump of cardiovascular tissue, and place it beneath his left pec.
Note that you've successfully failed your Build-A-Boy.
But don't worry.
He's one of several million, so there are plenty to spare. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then our final poem that we wanted to share with you all this fine afternoon is one that we've already taken to competition. It's a duo that Owen and I worked on, and it's pre-recorded, so we're going to get that queued up for you all.
Growing up, I was never a sick child. There were never any underlying problems with my health that needed addressing. No family emergencies, no hospital stays. I seemed perfect. I was physically not a sick child. That role belonged to my mother, who was diagnosed with cancer when I was 5.
I was a sick child. For years, I would keep my family up at least one night each month as I inexplicably vomited until I passed out on the floor and had nothing but bile left in my small body. But no amount of endoscopies or blood tests provided an explanation for my symptoms, so my doctors told my mom that it was all in her head, that I wasn't really a sick child.
Even when you're a healthy child, you experience your parents' illness vicariously. I was submerged into the world of sickness far too young.
My symptoms were textbook for an autoimmune disorder.
It was a roller coaster of chemo I never wanted to board. I remember every hospital visit like the back of my hand.
I can still feel the way my heart sank each time my stomach turned over like it was yesterday.
Each cavalcade of doctors, stethoscope in one hand and scalpel in the other, rotating shifts, tumor jars with grapefruit-sized growths ripped from their near-successful rampage.
The hopelessness of the car ride home after yet another doctor disregarded me, saying I was just being dramatic.
Stitches lining the head like a baseball bat had struck it. When sickness is your parent,
the whole family becomes disease-ridden. My mother's jaw still clenches with any mention of the doctors who dismissed us. They looked straight into my mother's teary eyes and handed her release paperwork in the place of tissues. My diagnosis took 13 years of being gaslit by professionals who allowed their negligence to color my childhood with mistrust.
I felt distraught. My parents had been so focused on keeping themselves alive that they missed the cracks of their insecurities dripping down to me in a twisted Punnett square, where the fill-ins for A's and B's were anxiety and depression, until I made myself the sick child from worry.
The spring after my 17th birthday, I developed a new set of symptoms. At first, my family didn't want to believe it was anything more than just a nasty virus. I was only a year out from diagnosis. I want this cycle of illness to end.
Everything threatened to be passed down to me has turned me into a genetic nervous wreck. The complications of my family creep up every day, each chest pain leading me back to the sunny morning of my grandpa's heart attack, the visceral image of my mom's head split open with only half a brain left as a reminder that all the anxiety attacks in the world can't stop what seems inevitable.
I can't help but wonder if all my legacy will ever be is that of a sick child, being toted from doctor to doctor, reliving the fear and anger of my childhood, set to the tune of each new illness. I feel like I'm losing control.
I worry I'm destined to carry on my family's legacy, and I don't know if I can do this all over again.
Okay, and that's our feature. So thank you all so much for being a wonderful audience. It was a joy for us to share with you, and not to plug our next event, but definitely come to our competition on the 26th at 7 p.m. Yeah, thank you all so much. I'll hand it back over to Nate now.
Thank you so much, Slam. That was awesome. All right, so now we're going to go right into our open mic. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have 10 pieces lined up for everyone tonight, and I'm very excited for all of them. We are starting it off strong with a very special piece from Ben Barton. I'll let him introduce it.
Hello. Okay. So I was thinking about what to do today, and I was like, instead of a theater piece, I should just do something completely random. So I'm going to be singing the song about the periodic table from the YouTube channel ASAP Science as fast as I possibly can, just because why not? Let's go for it. Well, there's hydrogen and helium and lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere with nitrogen all through the air with oxygen so you can breathe them. Fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the sign, sodium for salty times, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, then sulfur, chlorine, and argon. Potassium with calcium, so you'll grow strong. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, and chlorium, and manganese. This is the periodic table. Noble gas is stable. Halogens and alkali react presently. Each period will see new outer shells while electrons are added, moving to the right. Iron is the 26, and cobalt, nickel, coins you get, copper, zinc, and gallium, germanium, and arsenic, selenium, and bromine, film, krypton, helps light up your green rubidium, and strontium, and yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silverware, then cadmium and indium, tin cans, antimony, and tellurium, and iodine, and cesium, and then cesium, and barium is 56, and this is where the table splits, where lanthanides have just begun. Lanthanum, cerium, and praseodymium. Neodymium's next to promethium, that's 62 samarium, europium, gadolithium, and strontium, ytterbium, dysprosium, ytterbium, ytterbium, lutetium, hafnium, tantalum, and then we're on to rhenium, osmium, and iridium, platinum, gold to make your wish so you grow old, mercury to tell you when it's really cold, thallium and lead and bismuth for your tummy, polonium, acetylene and niobium, radon, francium will last a little time, radium, then actinides to 89. This is the periodic table. Noble gas is stable. Halogens and alkali react aggressively. Each period will see new outer shells while electrons are to the right. Actinium, thorium, protactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, americium, curium, berkelium, californium, isonium, fermium, mendelevium, nobelium, lawrencium, brotherthorium, dubium, seaborgium, borium, hassium, neptunium, deuterium, Berberdium, carnosium, nihonium, flerovium, moscovium, livermorium, tennessine, and oganesson. And then we're done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. I loved that. That was so much fun. Up next, we have Emily with a song that I'm very excited for. This will be a little sneak peek for what's to come with Theory of Relativity, because Emily will be singing her part from The End of the Line. All right, I gotta share my screen for this one.
Normally, I would be singing this with the amazing Christiana Close, but she's doing some very cool poetry tonight. So I'm just doing the end by myself. Okay. I said, I'm Sarah, she's Jenny. We used to be close, now she's desperate and clingy and sort of morose. I heard she gobbles peanut butter parfaits by the gross. In all the world is there a sight more tragic than this parasite. So that is our story, and ain't it divine? Friends till the end of the cold bitter end. I guess this is the end of the line.
Yay, thank you so much, Emily. That was so much fun. Up next, we've got Dan Livnat singing Be Prepared.
Oh, there we go. Now my camera's on. Hello. Singing Be Prepared. Hello. I know that your pals of the tension are as wet as a warthog's backside, but thick as you are. Pay attention! My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not all on upstairs, but we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. So prepare, chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. And where do we feature? Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared. Be prepared. Yeah, be prepared. We'll be prepared. For what? For the death of the king. Why, is he sick? Oh, fool, we're gonna kill him. And Simba, too. Great idea. It's a king. No king, no king. La 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 la. Idiots! There will be king. But you said I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again. Yeah, who needs a king? Long live the king. No, woo, yeah. It's great that we'll soon be connected with the king who'll be all-time adored. Of course, quid pro quo, it's expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes, though I'm the main addressee. The point that I must emphasize is you won't get a sniff without me. So prepare for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the murkiest scam. Meticulous planning, tenacity spanning, decades of denial, simply why I'll be king undisputed, respected, saluted, and in for the wonder I am. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bare. Be prepared. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bad. Be prepared. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. I think that I need a recording of every single Disney villain song, but with Dan playing every single part. I think that that would make everything a lot better. All right, so up next, we have a piece from Adrian. I'll let them introduce it.
Hey guys, sorry that I can't be there in person, so instead I'm submitting this video of me reciting a poem that I wrote freshman year. So we'll see if this is any good. The title is Self-Reflection as My Mirror, so you can guess where this is going. So let's get started. Look at you. Looking back as if you see me. You only see yourself, or more accurately, the version of you that you choose to see. Only noticing the flaws as if the rest is covered by that veil that blocks all other perception. You stare and despise what looks back, hating everything more and more the longer it's shown. Waking up every day hoping something has changed and being so disappointed when nothing has. Shame. Shame towards yourself and the parents whose DNA you share. Anger. Anger follows that shame, that pent-up frustration lashing out like a whip towards anything that dares to get close enough to be hit. Pushing away anyone who could get close and see behind that facade. A path is forged that vaguely resembles the path to the dark side. The path already so worn that you have no clue what part of Yoda's speech you are closest to. These references I only know from when you were a child and started dressing up as a Jedi and reciting lines so you could go to school the next day and try to impress anyone who had the slightest interest in being your friend. You now write these quotes on my surface to remind you of who you used to be. Even
even writing them backwards as if you believe that your reflection could read them too. As if you believe that if you don't say something witty, even I would abandon you as well. You stand there, tears in your eyes, as you desperately wish to go back to such an innocent age, when you were proud of who you were, and weren't constantly scared of never being good enough. If only I could reach through this glass prison and show you every aspect that is perfectly imperfect. Explain every way the nerdy aspects are the best parts, and that even though you preach that you don't need anyone's approval, perhaps I could finally convince you that it's true. But, alas, I remain here, looking at this pathetic attempt to glue back broken pieces through scribbled quotes. Thank you. That was sad. Bye guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of the open mic. Have fun.
Thank you so much, Adrian. That was lovely. All right. And up next, we have Sasha Wilkinson singing a song that I'm not entirely sure what it's titled, so I will let her introduce it.
Hey everybody. Yes, I'm doing a song. It's a song that I wrote, and I just realized before this that I've been writing music for like 7 years. Not to brag. No, but I haven't shown it like a single thing to pretty much any of you. So this song doesn't have a title. If any of you come up with one, please give it to me because I suck at naming things. Also, I was gonna give this whole disclaimer thing, but I decided I'm not going to because it makes it funnier. It's not even funny, but it's not a love song, okay? But it is, but it's not. But it is, but it's not. But it is. But it's definitely not. Okay, here we go. It's been almost a year now since I have made it clear how wicked you are. Like my Moriarty, your evil is starting to bore into my heart. Thinking about now how it's Sunday, you're away and drinking your Earl Grey on a street I don't know the name of. With girls in A-line dresses making marks on you and messes I can never make with my empire wasted love. Eleanor, oh Miss Eleanor, how can I get to you if not poison or chalk on the floor, Miss Eleanor? I treasure your letters that make English sound better than the hit symphonies I know. Still a hopeless romantic who plays tricks with semantics despite my empty hole. Thinking about now how it's Sunday, I prepared for this in some ways, but I still can't believe you're somehow gone. With a girl in a A-line dress who can never make quite the mess that I could make with my empire wasted love. Eleanor, oh Miss Eleanor, how can I get to you if not poison or chalk on the floor, Miss Eleanor? I've been studying my ciphers until I forget to read between the lines. And though you claim your motive's concrete, I can sense the hidden deceit in this history you write. Eleanor. How can I get to you if not poison or chalk on the floor? I just wanna know that you loved me before. I just wanna know that you loved me at all before, Eleanor. The end.
Thank you so much, Sasha. That was lovely. All right, and now up next we have Owen Briggs, and I'm very excited for this piece and don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'm going to let Owen introduce it.
Hi, it's me again, Owen. The piece I'm doing, because I couldn't think of something, and apparently there's a theme tonight with doing educational songs. So I'm going to do Yakko's World from Animaniacs, also known as Nations of the World. So let's see if this works. Also, hopefully it works. I don't know. We're going to try. The Nations of the World brought to you. I'm sorry, I couldn't find another video. So United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, Guyana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden and Iceland, Finland and Germany now in one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece. Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, the Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, the Borneo, and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana. Okay. Running Lesotho, Malawi, Togo, Spanish Sahara is gone. Nigeria, Chad, and Liberia, Egypt, and Nina Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, and Mali, Sierra Leone, and Algier, Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Zaire, Ethiopia, Guinea, Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Mayoran, Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Crete, Mauritania, Transylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan. Thank you.
I was muted and I know that. That was so very impressive. Thank you so much, Owen. All right, so up next we have Chris Close. So I will share my screen.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the work was hard and the wages low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. I guess it's time for us to go, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long So I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, tomorrow you will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. The winds blew foul and the seas went high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. We shipped up green and none went by, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was lovely. All right, and up next we have the wonderful Leah James once again.
Oh my gosh. I now have to recover from Chris's music video on camera. Oh no. Okay, so I don't know if you've all noticed, but I'm a bit of a one-trick pony, so I will be reading poetry again. And also yet more poetry about how terrible the world is. So good thing Chris has just lifted our spirits. Yeah. I believe that this world is mostly terrible. For every kind stranger, there is one who would break you. For every loved teddy bear, a raging forest fire turning the sky above my uncle's house to rust. My cousin says that she can't sleep for fear that she won't see the flames coming to engulf her house next. As if seeing the flames would prevent the destruction, I'd like to believe that fires could stop burning in the wake of one little girl's trembling lip. But I know that they won't, because every ray of beauty I find is distorted by the lake of doubt above me. I have found myself broken and drowned in. I am not proud of this ragingly pessimistic attitude. My despair has been crafted by years of watching clenched fists shaken at the evening news. I've watched the people I was told were the good guys gunning down children and men who cry out for their mothers, and protests where young women like me get run over and lose their lives only to be memorialized in requiems and Instagram calls to action that die on the lips and picket signs of their loved ones. But there were good people on both sides. I have found that I tend to see the world as 78% crap, which is a conservative estimate that I phrase in terms my mother would find relatively unoffensive. She doesn't share my taste for anger, and frankly, she doesn't need to. But for every person who raises a pride flag beside me, there is a 43-year-old dance mom in white jeans to tell me through a fake smile, colored like a 2007 Barbie Jeep, that she can't leave her daughter with me because girls like you just aren't fit to be left with the littles. And we both know that what she means by that is that she believes that my queerness makes me a predator, while in the meantime there's a flock of older men sliding into my DMs to let me know that I have nice titties. There has never been anything about me that matters more than the well-shaped and sized vessels for my mammary glands, because I am, in fact, just a sexy piece of meat, rotting in a dumpster sitting on the curb of the home the world has become, with dry rot in the cabinets and bloodstains on the carpets. The roof is ablaze with a lawn full of private citizens shaking semi-automatic weapons in the air out front. Any realtor worth their salt would tell you that this house is still salvageable, that it has good bones, and they'd squawk on about how beautiful we can make this disaster. But I've been watching the wreckage unfold my entire life, wondering if my mother felt any guilt about this house I inherited when I came into the world, and I just don't know if I believe it can be saved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah. That was great. All right, so now we have our last recorded piece, and this is a piece that I have been told is titled Alex's Random Item Juggling Chaos. So I'm very excited for this. Let me share my screen.
Hi, my name is Alex Close, and for today's open mic, I'm going to be doing something a little bit weird. So I have decided, since I can juggle, but if I came on here and juggled just like, you know, juggling balls, or, you know, something normal, I guess people would juggle, that would be boring. So I went around my house and found some strange items that we'll see if I can toss them in the air successfully. So, and this may become progressively weirder as the open mics continue. But for today, what I have found is this apples and berries small scented candle, an old skateboard wheel, and this fun frog dish. I love him dearly. He does not have a name, but if anyone wants me to name him, I don't know, send in your suggestions. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Oh goodness, I don't know which one to start with. Okay. Here goes nothing, folks. Okay. Ooh, geez. Okay. I was worried. Ooh! Attempt one. Not great. I was worried that the weight of the frog would be an issue, but it's not as bad as I thought. Because the candle and the skateboard are relatively the same. Part two. Let's try this again. Okay. Ooh! Oh, it got caught on my thumb. Okay, one more try, and then I'll let you get back to the actually talented folks who submitted things. Okay. Ooh! Okay. Ooh! Oh, we're doing better. I just stepped on a cord that was on the ground, and that kind of hurt, but that's okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. There goes the skateboard wheel. But yeah, I would give this like a 6 out of 10. Not great, but like, okay. Anyway, if anyone happens to suggest things for me to juggle in the future, I will. Ta-da!
Thank you so much, Alex. That was a lot of fun. All right, so now we are sadly at the closing act, but that means that there's only one person left to go, and that's the lovely Miss Eleanor Considine. So I will let you take it away.
This is going to be a rather underwhelming finale, I believe, because I have followed in Owen and Ben's footsteps and chosen a song that we all as anxious elementary school kids decided to memorize. And I have persistently forgotten it over the last 5 years, but here we are doing alphabet aerobics. Shout out to Daniel Radcliffe for making this what it is, and also disclaimer, I am going to fumble the words, so nobody come for me saying that I can do this perfectly. This is a work in progress. All right, it's an open mic. Anyway, okay, here we go.
Now it's time for our wrap up. Let's give it everything we've done. Ready? Begin.
Artificial amateurs aren't at all amazing. Analytically, I assault and meet things. Broken barriers bounded by the bomb beat. Buildings are broken. Basically, I'm bombarding. Casually create catastrophes, casualties, canceling cats got their canopies collapsing. Detonate a diamond bank, daily do and go. Demonstrations, dawn data on the down low. Eating other editors with each and every energetic, epileptic episode. Elevated etiquette. Furious, fat, fabulous, fantastic. Flurries of funk belts feeding the fanatic. Gift got great, couple goods gone glorious. Getting godly in his game with the glorious. Get him high, hella hype, historical. Hey, Holocaust, sincere, I'm holla at your homeboy. Imitators idolize and intimidate in an instant. All rise in an irate state. Feast on my jams like Jerry curls, dropping joints justly. It's just me writing my journals. Kindly and kindling all kinds of ink on. Karate kick, tight grits in my kingdom. Let me live a long life, lyrically. Lessons learned, lame blasters, lose to my livery. My mind makes marvelous moves, masses. Proper land move, many mock what I have mastered. Not knowing I'm nice naturally. Knack never lack, make noise nationally. Operation opposition off, not optional. Out of sight, out of mind, wide beaming optical. Perfected poems, powerful punchlines, pummeling, petty putter puffs in my quiet. Quiet queen coins, keep quiet, it's quantum. Choral isn't got a chord of, we got 'em. Really raw raps, rising up rapidly, riding the Russian radioactivity. Super scientific song, search on. Silencing super fire saps that are song. Tell them, fine, told you. Challengers, get a tune up. Universal, unique, untouched, unadulterated, the raw, uncut. Bird lice board valid is valid. Violate vibes that are vain, they can vanish. While I wait, wordsmith just wordsmith zero. Exploitation, whole sexual large, X-headed letters and xylophone tones. Illaback, yak mouth, young ones, yaws. Yesterday's lawns, ourselves, our yawns. Zigzag zombies, zoom to the zenith. Zero and zenthoughts, zealots, rhymes, zealots. And that was bars. And then she does, there you go.
Thank you so much, Eleanor. That was so much fun. All right, everybody, that is the end of our open mic for tonight. So thank you all so much for coming and for showing your support. The next open mic will be on March 12th, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, March 12th. All right. So then anyone who is watching this, then thank you all for watching, and thank you for everyone for coming. And we are going to close it off with that. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your night and a great weekend.